Alright guys, SomeNorthernGuy here, and in my last video I said I wanted to do something Star Wars related this time, and what better time to do it than now, because we've had quite a bit of Star Wars news in the last couple of weeks. The big one being the title for episode 8, which is The Last Jedi. Now as soon as this image dropped revealing the title, every single Star Wars fan, myself included, began speculating on who The Last Jedi actually is. And the general consensus seems to be it's either Luke or Rey, which, you know, makes sense. Now, people think it's going to be Rey because Luke is probably going to die in episode 8. It really wouldn't surprise me, seeing how they killed off Han Solo in episode 7. So Luke dying wouldn't be that much of a surprise. However, the interesting theory that people have come up with is that Luke is going to turn to the dark side. The reason for that is because the Star Wars logo is red, and we've never seen it red before, not even in Revenge of the Sith. And red, as we all know, in Star Wars, represents the Sith, and the dark side, and the Emperor, etc, etc. But I don't think Luke is going to turn to the dark side. I mean, the whole point of Return of the Jedi was Luke towing that line between light and dark, and he has his final fight with Vader on the Death Star, and he loses his rag, and he beats him up, and he's got him on the ropes, and the Emperor tells him to finish him off, and take his place, and join the Emperor, and Luke realizes what he's becoming. He's following in his father's footsteps. He's becoming Darth Vader, essentially. You know, he looks at his robot hand, and he looks at his father's robot hand, and he stands up to the Emperor and he says, "No, I'm not joining you, you're a prick." So I don't think he's going to turn. That story's kind of come to a close, but I do think he's going to die. Now the red could simply mean that this is the episode in this trilogy where the dark side or the First Order win, like in Empire Strikes Back. But just because I don't think Luke's going to turn to the dark side doesn't mean I think someone isn't going to turn. I think that person will be Rey. Oh yes, I think Rey is going to turn to the dark side of the Force. She might not necessarily join the First Order and Supreme Leader Snoke, but she is going to turn. Well, what's going to make her turn to the dark side? Well, Luke's death. Luke is definitely going to die. That's going to drive Rey crazy. She's going to seek revenge against whoever it is who kills him, strike them down in anger and fear and hatred, all that good stuff, and she'll turn to the dark side. And if you look at Rey's character, I don't think that's too far-fetched. I mean, she's had a pretty rough life. She's grown up surrounded by fear and uncertainty and all these people she hates. I mean, she was essentially a slave laborer at one point, you know? And then you see her fight with Kylo Ren, and she grabs that lightsaber out of the snow, and when she turns it on, her face is full of fear. And rightly so, you know? This is the guy who's just killed her father figure, left her best friend for dead in the snow, and that's after kidnapping her and tormenting her, and, you know, she hates Kylo Ren and she's terrified of him. So in that scene where he's got her against the ropes on the edge of that cliff and he tells her that she needs a teacher and he can teach her the ways of the Force, we all thought, oh, she meditates and that gives her the insight and the inner peace to defeat him. Well, no, look at her face. Does this look like someone who has inner peace? And she then proceeds to beat the crap out of the guy. And it's not like she ends it quickly, you know? She goes in, guns a-blazing, and she wants Kylo Ren to suffer. She kicks him down, she lets him get back up for more, she just chips away at him and stuff. And then, you know, the icing on the cake, she breaks his lightsaber, slices him across the face and disfigures him. And I'm willing to bet that if the Starkiller base hadn't started to crack apart and, you know, they got pulled away from each other, she would have killed him. You know, if she hadn't come to her senses of, oh crap, I've got to get out of here, I reckon she could have easily leaped to that ravine and just kept going on the guy. She wanted him to suffer. So, Luke's gonna die, Rey's gonna turn to the dark side, but not necessarily join the First Order. Who is the Last Jedi going to be? Well, Rey turning would be the best plot twist ever, and it kind of mirrors the whole Darth Vader as Luke's father plot twist from The Empire Strikes Back. We'll probably find out who her parents are, but that's what everyone's talking about, isn't it? You know, is she a Skywalker? Is she a Kenobi? Is she a Palpatine? Is she a Jinn? Is she related to Qui-Gon Jinn? That's what I'm hoping for. But her turning would be a better, bigger plot twist. So like I just said, who is the Last Jedi going to be? Well, oh yes, but this is going to need a video all to itself. But in the meantime, if you like this video, then hit the thumbs up button. If you dislike this video, hit the down thumb button. And if you want to see some more stuff from me, including why I think Kylo Ren will be the last Jedi, then hit that subscribe button and keep an eye out for that video next week. And leave a comment in the comment section about who you think is going to be the last Jedi, and some of the best ones or some of the most interesting ones I'll discuss in that video. But that's it from me for now. Have a great week, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.